Good evening to one and all present here. Welcome to PATRIOTZ, the Independence Day Fest 2020. It is an initiative by YRC of VEC on the 74th Independence Day. Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Today, we all are here united, enjoying every bit of freedom that the world's largest democratic country has given us. Without taking much of your time, I would like to start the session. Today, the session is all about when the going gets tough and the tough get going. It is a honor, more than a pleasure, on welcoming Colonel K. Prabhagar Hebbar, sir. We are really thankful to you, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule. Prabhagar, sir, has underwent training from Officers Training Academy, Chennai, and became an officer in Indian Army in the Corps of Signals, the Communicators of Indian Army. He completed his BSc Physics in New College in the year 1986, BTech Electronic and Communication in 1996, PG in Missile and Armament Technology in Pune in the year 2001, Advanced Management Program in IIM Kolkata in 2008, and also PG Diploma in PERS MGT and Industrial Relations in 2014, Diploma in Disaster Management Pune University in 2018, Defense Officers Management Course IIM Indore in 2019. His operational assignments include Operation Rhino, Operation Parakram, Operation Vijay. He served as a training officer for Madras Group A, commanding officer of Eastern Command Signal Regiment. He was awarded as Army Commander's Commendation Card for meritorious service. Adding on, he has served as a group commander, NCC Group, Assam and Madras, Director of Information Systems in Punjab, and Director of Geographical Info System at Headquarters Southern Command. He is a keen sportsman and has represented the district in table tennis and cross country. He is a guitarist and also plays marching. I can go on and on with his achievements all day. The presence of you here is such a blessing, sir. Now, I request sir to enlighten us with the session. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you. Arise, awake, sleep not till the goal is achieved. A very good evening to all my young friends of the Velammal. You people are so lucky to have been born in this free country of India and enjoy all your freedom and privileges. As young adults, now you have a great responsibility resting on your shoulders. You have to lead this country of ours to make it a greater country, to make it a world leader, to achieve greater heights. It is all in your hands and it's up to you to do it. I have come here not to give a lecture to you, but to sharpen your mind a little, to use a little sandpaper on your brains, which must have got rusted or fungus over the period of the pandemic in the last 150 days. As youngsters, young adults, or young children rather, you people had nothing to worry about. You people were taken care of by your parents. All your needs were provided by them. Be it your school uniform, be it your dresses, be it your books, playthings and everything. Then came your 12th standard, where you had all the pressure of the world to do well. Real pressure, you didn't know what to do. How am I going to study? How am I going to do well? Will I pass? Will I get a good marks? Will I get a good seat in a good college? That is the biggest pressure that was there, biggest challenge that people faced. And subsequently, what happened? You got through your school and you got into your admission in a good college in whatever degree you had wanted, right? So you thought, yes, everything's fine, tickety-boo. I achieved the good college. My aim is fulfilled. And now you people are coming to your third year, second year, and fourth year of college. And now again, your heartbeat starts, your heart starts pumping harder, especially the third years and fourth year. Your heart starts pumping harder. because you people have become young adults. You're no more children, you're no more teenagers. Once you joined college, you felt all the freedom of the world was with you. You could fly like a bird with no boundaries. You can fool around your parents, telling you got special classes and go for movies. Telling your teachers that your parents were not well and bunk classes. To do all those wonderful things. But now comes the next challenge of your life. You have to prepare for your post graduation life. You have to make your own CV, your curriculum vitae. You have to prepare for your aptitude test. You have to prepare for your online exams that you're going to give on the net, the various companies which are going to come for your campus placement or otherwise. You have to prepare for your GRE or GMAT or whatsoever, whether you want to pursue or your GATE exams, whether you want to pursue higher studies or go abroad or do your MBA or whatsoever. So now the second part of the challenge is coming. Understood? Now comes the next part of the challenge. Simultaneously, you have to also write your assignments. You also have to get your internal assessment done. You have your final exams for which you have to prepare. And on the other side, your mummy and papa, என்னடா படிச்சுட்டே இருக்க, என்னடா போனை பிடிச்சி விளையாடினே இருக்க, என்னடா எப்போதும் கம்ப்யூட்டர் முன்னாடி உட்காந்துட்டே இருக்க, கண்ணு கெட்டு போக போகுதுடா. They'll be troubling you. On the other side, your friends, hey, என்னடா முழு நாள் வீட்டுல உட்காந்துக்கிற, வாடா வெளியே சுத்த போலாம். That's another thing. On the other side, டேய் என்னடா எங்கேயும் சுத்த முடியல, இந்த pandemic COVID எங்கேயும் ஊரையும் சுத்த முடியல. Yes, when your colleges were shut for the first few days or few weeks, oh, all of you must have been on the top of the world. Wow, what fun, yeah. Enjoy, watch movie, be on WhatsApp, chat, laugh, giggle, go around the city in mobiles, do everything. But now with 150 days, nearly 5 months gone past, there seems to be no much light ahead. The effect of this COVID is devastating. You people are all still in the nest created by your parents. You're not gone out of the nest, ventured into the world to see the way the world is suffering. People, children who have got their admission for post-graduation in various universities abroad, in the US, in the Europe and Australia, the studies are stopped. The seats are not being, though the seats have been allotted, the college is not going to open now, which means you'll be joining for a college next year. Nearly 1 year to 8 months wasted. Already 5 months have been wasted. Same way, so many people are thought of joining a job, or even the people who have got a job have been sent back home. So many people have been sent back home. These are the challenges. These are the tough times. After the Second World War, this is one of the worst times the world is facing. So the next was the 2008, the recession, but still it was not so bad, affecting so many lives as what is happening now. This is a challenging time, and you youngsters are graduating in such a crucial time. It's your crucial time of your life, and the world is undergoing a big crisis and a big challenge. So you have to arm yourself. You have to armor yourself. You have to protect yourself. You have to develop yourself to face these challenges. Because when the going gets tough, only the tough get going. Remember that. When the going gets tough, only the tough get going. So how will you do that? For that, to keep going when the going gets tough, you have to develop muscles of iron and nerves of steel. Muscles of iron and nerves of steel, inside which dwells a mind. Inside which dwells a mind of the same material of which the thunderbolt is made. I hope you know what the thunderbolt is, right? The thunderbolt and the lightning and the thunderbolt which strikes with such enormous energy that can destroy anything. That is the energy that you guys must get in. And that is the energy that is always there within you. It is already there within you, inherent. You people have to bring it out. It's in your hands to bring it out. It is in your hands to bring it out. You have to plan and prepare to bring out the energy in you. Okay? Stop being a mediocre. Stop being a mediocre. Stop having a middle class mentality. Arise, awake, and bring out the power which is there in you. This is the time. If you cannot do it now, you cannot do it later, or you may not find an appropriate opportunity again to express yourself and exhibit yourself. If you do not do that, if you do not do that, and if you keep wasting your time, you are going to be the biggest loser. And 20 or 30 years hence, do not blame that when I was in my final year of college, or when I was in my penultimate year of my college, the pandemic came and ruined my life. No. There are ways and means. You can do it. Okay? Remember, anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, anything that makes you weak physically, for example, drugs, liquor, unwanted loafing around with friends, with useless fellows, all these things, anything that makes you weak intellectually, getting into silly arguments and gossips, anything that makes you weak spiritually, moving away from the truth, getting into unreal things. Spirituality does not mean religion. It is much, much beyond religion. Being spiritual is being beyond religion, knowing yourself. If you do these things, whichever makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject it as poison. Okay? There is no life in it. It cannot be true. Truth is something that gives you strength. Truth is something that gives you energy. Truth is something that is pure. And truth gives you knowledge. It's only truth that triumphs. That is why we say, Vaimeye vellum, Satyameva jayate. Truth only triumphs. Imagine yourself, if you had not done your assignment properly and submitted in the class, and instead you're telling a lie that you've taken your father to the hospital the previous evening. That is why you could not finish. Tell me, the teacher or the professor may accept it and may pardon you. But don't you feel guilty about it? You may laugh with your friends, telling Parra, Navaja Ramatita, right? And feel happy. But when you sit alone and introspect, you will feel let down. You will feel you are so cheap. You will fall down in your own eyes. So seek truth in everything. How? If it is your class, if it is your electrical engineering class going on, where your teacher teaches you about I is equal to VR, right? Or V is equal to IR, sorry. I is equal to V by R. Go into it, deep into it. Find out what it is. If you're doing aeronautical engineering, if you're teaching about G-force, what is a G-force? Go study what it is. Go through the encyclopedia, go through Wikipedia, go through the internet. Read it, go and ask your teacher, ask your friends, ask your classmates, discuss about it. The teacher says a simple Pythagoras theorem. Try it out, how true it is. So try to go into the truth. Seek the depth of knowledge. It will help you through. Okay? Ignite your minds. Ignite your minds. What is ignite? Showing brightness. Enlighten your minds. Find a purpose in life. Someone of you may want to become a professor. Someone of you may want to become a businessman. Someone may want to take on your father's own business. You may be owning a hardware store, a construction company or something. Somebody of you may want to go abroad to do higher studies. Or someone may want to just pick up a job. Whatever it is. Think for yourself. It doesn't come in a minute. Think, sit alone. Sit alone for yourself. Lock yourself in your room or go to the terrace in dark night. Sit, shut your eyes, think. What is your purpose of life? What do you want to achieve? Think. You have so many thoughts. You may want to do so many things. Okay? Think of it. And then you see, search for answers. How do I get it? Some people are there who may laugh at you, who may criticize you for what you're thinking and what you're doing. Let them criticize you. Don't bother about it. They'll make noise when you're going to do something, when you're trying out something, when you're trying out some experiment or whatever. A simple thing, you want to make a gadget in your house using a soldering iron and a few PCBs and ICs. They may laugh at you, they may mock at you. Let them do, let them make the noise. When you're at a sports field, who makes noise? It is the audience who make the noise, not the players, not the striker. So you be a player, a striker. Don't get bothered by the noise and the howling. Do what you want. Achieve. Strive towards perfection and try and achieve your goal. That is what is the need of the hour. That is what the need of the hour. For all this, you have to develop self-confidence. Am I clear? You can raise your thumbs. Unless you have self-confidence, you cannot even answer a simple question asked by your teacher in your classroom. Remember that. You have to develop self-confidence. Only then can you succeed in life. Now, to develop self-confidence, it's up to you. If you feel you're weak, you're not having good muscles, that's why you're lacking self-confidence, then go do 50 push-ups and chin-ups. Because gyms are closed, you can't join a gym. If you don't have weights, take 2 bricks and start doing biceps. You will develop your biceps automatically. So develop your self-confidence. Whatever you're lacking, if you're poor in English, start talking in English. When you're talking to your friends, let them call you Peter. Hey, ennada Peter right, yeah? Let him tell you. So what? Let him tell you. What is your purpose? You want to develop your language skills, so learn it. If you're weak in a subject, you have 150 days for you to develop your skills on it. You should have read that same chapter 4 times. By then, now you'll have mugged up the whole chapter. By now, you would have mugged up the chapter. Or you could have rang up your master and asked him doubts. I'm sure the professors of Velammal would have been very happy to clarify your doubts. Because I've been closely interacting with your college, not from today, but from way back from 2014. And I have visited your college on so many occasions and delivered lectures in your college. I know your principal and many other professors also. And they're all a very encouraging type of people who always would care for you all. So shed your shame and go and ask. I don't know how many of you know, in Mahabharata, when Draupadi was being derobed by Dushyasana, திரௌபதிக்கு வஸ்திராவரணம் ஆகும்போது திரௌபதி இப்படி பிடிச்சிட்டு கிருஷ்ணா என்னை காப்பாத்துனாங்களாம். அப்ப கிருஷ்ணர் காப்பாத்தல. கடைசியில she lifted her hands and said, Krishna, please protect me. Then Lord Krishna came and protected her. So surrender yourself to God, to your teacher, the way you surrender yourself to your parents when you as a child, who held your arms and made you walk. Had you not surrendered, your mother or father wouldn't have caught you by your finger and taken you for a walk as a toddler. So go, tell them your problem. I'm sure they will help you. So have the confidence to go and approach them. Now, if you're going to go to a particular professor, okay, who's going to teach you about any heat engines or strength of materials, any subject, just don't go stand and tell him, sir, sir, nobody will like it. You should prepare from your side. You should study the chapter 1, then go with them. Sir, I studied. This is what I understood. Please tell me, how should I go about it? He'll be able to guide you better. Understood? So because this is the time you have to develop your skills. You have to develop your knowledge, because 150 days of your life and my life has just gone away. 5 months of this year, 2020, has gone away without any productivity. Without any productivity. It will never come back. Let us say, for example, there is a particular professor or a manager who's not doing his work properly in wherever he is working. He will not get the due respect that he wants. At the same time, I may be only a sweeper, Perukaravan, who sweeps your college every day. If I sweep the college properly every day and keep your classrooms and verandas and a garden neat and clean, I'll get a sabash. All of you will praise me. Hey, parra indal, okay? At the same time, if I'm a manager of a bank or manager of a company and I don't do my work properly, I keep lazing around, I don't send my reports and returns on time, and I don't behave properly, then my employees will curse me. Hey, you are waste. Okay? So it is not what you are doing, but how well you are doing whatever you are doing. That is what matters. So remember that it's a very important rule, not only for now, but for the entire life of yours. And when you are dedicated, when you are self-confident, when you are hardworking, and when you have an aim and going towards that, there is every possibility that you will face failures. Okay? So failure does not mean end of the world. Remember, failure is not the end. It is just a reminder. It is just a reminder to you to tell you where you have gone wrong. It is just a stumbling block or a small stone which trips you when you're walking to say that you're not been walking carefully. You're not keeping a step carefully. You're taking certain things for granted. That is why failure happens. Like in an exam, when you're going for an exam, you would have studied there all the chapters, but one chapter you would have left out. And the 20-mark question will come from that chapter only. It's happened so many times to me. Okay? So if you plan, however properly you plan, however nicely you plan, still there is a chance of a failure coming in your way. So don't take failure as the end of life. It is just a stepping stone. Like during Op Vijay, when Captain Vikram Batra went to capture Tiger Hill, when they first went, they had severe enemy fire. Many of the troops were shot. They couldn't progress. So they thought, let us go from, and they tried to attack 2-3 times. But every time the enemy fire was so well directed that they were not able to climb. They had so many casualties, so many people died of bullet wounds. Then Vikram Batra and his team went from the rear of the mountain and tried to climb. The front of the mountain was a slope like this, from where they could climb and go. But the rear of the mountain was steep like this. It was nearly a 80-degree, 70 to 80-degree cliff type of a climb. And the temperature was very, very cold, minus 25 to minus 30 degrees. And they didn't have the proper clothes with them. So these people didn't have proper gloves. The gloves that they're having is not, they're not able to grip properly and climb the steep cliff. So what they did, they removed the socks, the woolen socks, and put it in their hand, and they used that for catching the rope and catching the stones and climb up. And then they went up, reached on top, and captured Tiger Hill and brought victory to our country, killing all the Pakistani soldiers and the Mujahideens who were there. So success doesn't come just like that. All of you must have been listening to Abdul Kalam, President Abdul Kalam, the one whom all of you connect more with. You think he became a success the very first time he tried to launch the rocket? No. He's called the father of the Indian missile systems. Who did the work, the main jobs for developing a missile? I don't know how many of you are aware, a missile system has so many subsystems in it. The guidance system, the tracking system, the payload, the propulsion system. There are so many systems in it. When a missile is shot from here, let's say from India towards Lahore, there is something called a grid reference. The whole Lahore city may not get destroyed with one missile. There may be a particular hotel or a palace or an office of the governor of Lahore or the chief of Lahore on which the missile is being targeted, or maybe Rashtrapati Bhavan in Delhi. It's got something called a grid reference. The NCC cadets may be knowing what's a grid reference. So they set a 8-figure grid reference, and that is denoted on this, fed into the memory of the particular missile, and then it shot up. And then how does it reach there? Once it's fed in the memory, it's got its global positioning systems. Okay, where the missile communicates with the satellites, which tracks where the missile has to go and hit the target. And as the missile is traveling, it has to be, now the system has to be so fast that the missile signal goes near, and it sees where the target is and gives a feedback to the missile as to how much of deviation is there. And then that deviation is felt by the guidance system and gives a necessary correction to the missile to go either left, right, up, down, or whichever direction it has to go, so that it reaches the target correctly. So same way, even we should have our guidance system. Whatever you're doing, you should also try to keep getting a feedback as to what you're doing so that you can avoid the mistakes. Like for example, tomorrow you're going to appear for a competitive exam. It could be anything. It could be GRE, GATE, GMAT, whatever. Okay, you are preparing for maybe 2 or 3 months. Then one fine day you sit for the exam and give the final exam. No, that's not the way you do. You have to give your mock exams, the mock test, say mock interviews. You tell your friends to interview you. You tell your father, Papa, please interview me and see how I am. Okay, if you feel your father is not qualified enough or you're shy to face your father, go to your neighbor, go to your friend's father, your uncle, your cousin, tell them to interview you. Practice. Whenever you go for any interview, one of the main questions they'll be asking for is, please tell about yourself. In 3 minutes. You will not know what to tell. Okay? This is the biggest, because all of you think you know too much about yourself, but I'm telling you, I interviewed so many youngsters. The first question I ask generally is, come on, Mr. So-and-so, for next 2 minutes, please tell me about yourself. They don't know where to start from. They don't know what to talk about. So prepare, because now you have to prepare for your final exams, your project reports, preparation of CV, preparation for your aptitude test, and if you get through your aptitude test, you have to go for your interview. So all these things are lined up one after the other. So you better start preparing yourself for everything, because the more you sweat in peace, the less you shed in war. The very famous proverb. The more you sweat in peace, the less you shed in war. The more prepared you are, you'll be able to answer more questions in your exam. That is why when people go for pilgrimage to Sabarimala, they have 40 days Varadam. I don't know how many of you are Hindus and how many of you are Muslims and Christians, but I'm just giving an example. 40 days of Varadam, where they move around barefooted, having very limited diet, a specific type of diets, taking cold water bath, sleeping on the floor, because they are preparing themselves for the journey, the pilgrim's progress, what they have to take. Like what John Bunyan had written, the famous book, The Pilgrim's Progress. I don't know how many of you must have read it. Maybe Michael George might have read it. So you have to prepare for the pilgrim's progress. That is very, very important. Secondly, one important thing which you want to dwell upon is that most of you keep only waiting for a campus placement. Very good. You must wait for campus placement. But you should also know, I think it's imperative on me to tell you how many more options are available in our country. How many more options are available in our own country. First option, I'm sure you must all be, most of you are aware of this, is the various set of education courses and certifications that you can do. Okay, like Udemy, Coursera, edX, Calpan University, Allison.com, okay, then IITs, LinkedIn, all these platforms are there from where you can enhance your knowledge. You can get certification. There's so many subjects, starting from drawing to music appreciation to geology to fine arts to hacking, missile technology, you name it. Everything under the sun, every course is available there. And I'm sure most of you must have made use of this 150 days and got a few certifications. I know a friend of mine during this lockdown on LinkedIn, in 50 days, he has taken 47 certifications. 47 certifications, and is still taking many more. But he was also trying for a Guinness Book of Records for attending the maximum or certification in the smallest duration of time. But just taking certifications doesn't lead you anywhere. You have to develop knowledge also. Like tomorrow, if one of you comes to me in the interview and tells, sir, I am Six Sigma Green Belt qualified. And if I ask you what is a Six Sigma Green Belt, if I go into it a little deeper and I find your knowledge shallow, I'll not take you. So remember, there are so many courses which you can take on the net and benefit yourself. But while doing so, once you're doing that course, just getting a certificate on a sheet of paper takes you nowhere. You again go into it, investigate, learn more about that course, refer books, refer your Wikipedia, go to the internet, do research on those particular subjects. Okay, it only leads to Karka Kasadara Karpavai, Katrapin Nirka Adarku Taga. So Karka Kasadara Karpavai. Okay, otherwise Katru ஒரு பயனும் இல்லை. ஞாபகம் வைத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். கற்க கசடர கற்றவை. Okay, otherwise it's going to be of no use to you. Tomorrow when you go to an interview and sir, I have so many certificates, sir. What all you have? Sir, I have St. John's Red Cross certificate, sir. Then I have my certificate on computer marketing, sir. Digital marketing certificate, sir. I have my certificate on Python certificate, sir. Then I have my certificate on C++, sir. Then it gives you a small program. Okay, make a program on C++ and give me. It'll give me a small problem. Very small problem. It may be, okay, there are 50 children in a classroom. They are writing exams in 4 subjects. The aggregate of 4, I should want to know who's the highest and who's the lowest marks. The name should come as per the mark list, seniority of marks. Make it, and same way, if I do it again, I should be able to know alphabetically who's the first name, who's the last name. You should be able to do it in C language or in Excel or whatever the situation demands. Like for example, you're going for the interview. I'm telling you, yes, my dear, please do so and so problem using C language. Sir, I'll do that, sir, but I'll do it in Excel, sir. Sorry, no, I want C. No, sir, I can do it in MS Word, sir. It's of no use. It's like something like you coming to a hotel where I am the waiter and you're telling me, எனக்கு ஒரு மசாலா தோசை கொண்டு வாப்பா. சார், நீங்க டீ சாப்பிடுங்க சார். இல்லப்பா மசாலா தோசை வேணும்ப்பா. சார் ரவா தோசை கொண்டு வரட்டுமா சார்? இல்லப்பா மசாலா தோசை வேணும்ப்பா. சார் செட் தோசை நல்லா இருக்கும் சார். Will you like it? You will not like it. So you should be able to give what is demanded out of you by the organization, or now for that matter by the university. Okay, it is like a famous saying by Kennedy, who said, don't ask what the country has done for me, see what I have done for the country, or see what you can do for the country. Same way when you are in college, okay, you don't dictate what the college has to do for you. You don't dictate what the university has to do for you. You should adapt yourself. You should adapt yourself to do what is expected out of you. I'm sure there are a lot of mechanical engineering students over here. Okay. Whenever a new vehicle is made, whether it's a four-wheeler or a two-wheeler, or for that matter, even computer science students, whenever a particular application is made or a software is made, what is it we do? We first do something called a proof testing. Am I right? Proof testing. So why I'm using a vehicle as an example, it's easier to explain and easier to understand. So when a four-wheeler is made, okay, now it is tested on something called a test track. Because the same vehicle, a car, a Maruti car, or a Scorpio, it has to go in the sand, it has to go in the mountains, it has to go on a smooth road, it has to go in slushy, muddy area, it has to go in broken roads like the roads that you have in Chennai. So it has to go on all types of roads. Still, the suspension should not get damaged, the shock absorber should not get damaged, the driver and the passenger should not get fatigued. Let's say I'm driving my vehicle from my house to the office 10 kilometers away. At the end of reaching office, if I'm dead tired and I'm not able to work, what is the use? So what do they do? After fitting, firstly, each and every part and component of the vehicle is taken and tested. Various types of tests are being done. Same way when you make a program or a software in a program, the modules of the software, each module is tested separately. And then the assembly takes place. In this case, a vehicle is assembled. And here the software is assembled. And once the software is assembled, what do? You do debugging. In a vehicle, you send on a test track. It's sent for trials. From 5 vehicles we sent to Rajasthan deserts. 5 vehicles we sent to the northeast to Nagaland and Arunachal. 5 vehicles we sent to Bombay for road testing. 5 vehicles may go to Calcutta where it's always raining, or Assam and northeast. So the vehicles are sent to various parts of the country. And then they are tested and the test reports are taken. And then they are combined, they are assessed. And then the deductions come that how the vehicle behaves if the road situation is bad. They check the shock absorbers. They check it using their computer systems and software. They check what has happened to the shock absorbers. How has your bag, the safety bag, airbags have functioned. Okay, so they simulate the various programs to see it. And then they keep rectifying the problems. And then the vehicle is finally assembled and the vehicle comes out. You must have seen, even after the vehicle comes out, after 1 year, Honda tells Honda series number C56 is being called back because of the problem with the carburetor. Or so-and-so vehicle, Volvo SUV, so-and-so has been 100,000 vehicles have been called back for changing a particular shock absorber because the shock absorber is not okay. See, this is the same system. So every company, what it does a particular job, it takes a feedback, which is a failure, and then it improves upon it so that they achieve a greater level of perfection. So at every level, when you keep going higher and higher, you have to keep taking a loop of taking a feedback, course correction, achieve a greater height. Once you reach that height, again you take a feedback, do a course correction, reach a greater height. That is how the life progresses. That is how it's an entire life lesson, not only of a vehicle, not only of a software. This is how our life progresses. Our mother, when she got married to your father, she was a young lady. She may not have been an expert in cooking. So she takes out a spoon of whatever sambar, rasam, gives your father, saaptu paranga, uppu sariya irukka. Not because she doesn't know, but she wants to take a feedback. Okay, she wants to take a feedback. So even now, when you have started going to college, and when your parents are married for the past 20 years, still she'll make the sambar or payasam and give to you or your father and tell, "Sir, taste sariya irukka paranga." Why? Not because she has no confidence in herself, but to take a feedback for improvement. So, if you say இல்லம்மா உப்பு கரிக்குது, then it's a failure. But then she doesn't throw it into the dustbin. She does a course correction. She's taken a feedback, she's doing a course correction, she's adding certain ingredients so that the saltiness is reduced, right? So a mother or a grandmother, they do it. So why shouldn't you and I do it? Instead of basking in a glory, one small success you guys are doing on small project in your college, some garbage disposal system where you press with your feet, the lid opens. Wow, mechanical engineering success. The parpa or the sanitizer coming out due to COVID. You press with your feet a pedal, that thing goes and presses the nozzle, and the sanitizer comes out. Wow, what a great thing! There's nothing. You go strive higher and higher. So don't start basking in your glory. Once you reach a level, it is not the end. Okay? See that go to the next level. Like Hussein Bolt, all these people, or Milka Singh, once he won his first gold, he didn't stop practicing or stop training. He started training more than what he was doing earlier. Because reaching a level is easy, but maintaining it is the most difficult. So maintain your excellence. Work hard to maintain your excellence. Your professor must have been a gold medalist 10 years back, but 10 years hence today, if he has to teach you, he has to brush his knowledge and maintain his excellence and his knowledge up to date. He has to keep himself updated with latest technologies. Understand? Then only can he teach you and answer the question that the people are asking. Next, I want to tell you is that campus interview is not everything in life. There are so many other avenues which you must see. IIMs for doing your postgraduate diploma in management or MBAs. Not only IIM, there are so many other management institutes also. Then you have your IITs where you can do your GATE. Okay. Then you have your bank exam where you have a clerk's exam and a probationary officer's exam. IBPS, banking services exam. Then you have your railway recruitment board where you can go as an officer or a technical personnel or anything. Then you have your Union Public Service Commission where you can go as a IS officer, IPS, revenue services, foreign services, Indian Defense Account Services, postal services, all services. Then you have a staff selection commission where you can go to customs and central excise and sales tax departments. Then you can go into Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission as Group 2, Group 1, as Tahsildars, Deputy Collectors and all that. Then you have the Defense Services and the Coast Guards, which conduct also comes in Defense Services. Okay, your IMA, OTA, Air Force, Navy, Army, all these services. There are 100 number of vacancies, opportunities available. But instead of going into all this, all of you children are only looking for, first is campus placement, second is beat your job, sir. Nice job, sir. It's so sad. Let me tell you, wherever you have an exam to write or a test to pass and have an entry, that will take you to greater levels, okay, than going somewhere where the path is easy. Understood? You achieve excellence and you reach greatness only by winning over the difficult path, not by taking the easy path. So please remember that. So this is what I wanted to say. So all I want you youngsters to do it. Remember, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And this is the toughest time that you all children are going to face in the entire life, for all you know. So the harder you work now, the more you prepare, the stronger the base you make, the stronger the foundation you have, the higher you can raise the building. Am I right? So all the best. Thank you.